25 tournament shoutcasting video number 2. We're still in round 1. We've got Garret versus Chicken7. So we're going to jump right into these teams, starting with the person I actually have teams for, Garret. Unfortunately, Chicken did not send me teams, but I do have lists of all the Pokemon he's packing, and I can kind of try and guess what he's doing. But let's look at Garrett's team first. First off, we have a Komoium Z Komodo with bulletproof. All of his Pokemon have happiness 69 because haha. And we have a special attacking Komodo. If I remember correctly, this becomes Clangorous Soul Blaze, which is an Omni Boost. So he's trying to Omni Boost into Aura Sphere, which is good against the rocks, Flash Cannon, which is good against the fairies, and Water Pulse, which is also good against some certain rocks. Yeah, this seems like a tight set. I don't see anything particularly offensive about it. I like it. And Clanging Scales is good stat. We've got Deep Croak. Nice. Focus Sash. I actually really like this set. We've got the Fake Out, Drain Punch, Gunk Shot, Toxic. I like the Toxicroak pick, obviously, because fighting is good against rock, and you have that Drain Punch, but you also get that stab Gunk Shot to blow away fairies. So I'm a big fan of Toxicroak here, and the Focus Sash with the Fake Out, the Drain Punch, Gunk Shot, and Toxic, that's just cute. Good set. Cob-sucking Lion. Cobalion. Rocky Helmet Cobalion with Justified. Happiness of 69. Hee hee hoo hoo. Haha. Mix HP and attack with some defense, so it's a bulkier Pokemon with... Again, you'll notice a lot of these Pokemon have great moves to hit Fairy on his fighting team, like that Stab Ironhead. Stealth Rock is nice, and Volt Switch. I had no idea Cobalion got Volt Switch. That's interesting. I like this set. It's cute. I really like the Hitmontop here. We've got the Intimidate, level 20? Huh? Oh! I thought this was just a really cool triple priority. So he's got Fake Out that can break a Sturdy, goes down to Sash, and then Endeavors, and then Kills. I guess this kind of traits for a Pokemon and can switch in and then Intimidate and serve as Death Fodder? That's nifty. Okay. So it's just trying to take out a Pokemon. I thought it was just a really cool hyper priority with Endeavor set. But that's interesting too. Choice Band Urshifu Rapid Strike. Yeah, I mean Aqua Jet, Surging Strikes, U-Turn, Ironhead. Looks good. Not much to say there. I like its matchup here. And then Mega Gallade with the Galadite, Inner Focus, Swords Dance, Knockoff, Drain Punch, and Zen Headbutt. Notably, it doesn't have a great move to hit fairies here. Its best move is Zen Headbutt. But I'm trying to think of all the Mega Fighting types, and it's not like any of them are doing particularly better against fairies, so... Yeah. Strong team, very offensive here. Very offensive, and his only really defensive pivot is Cobalion. So he's gonna be he's on the offense with this fighting team. And then we'll take a look at Balls to the Wall. Ball Driller. Expert Belt, Excadrill with the Sword Stance, and the Sand Rush ability combos very nicely with the Sandstream Hippowdon, or Hippowdon, pardon me. And then you have Earthquake. Ironhead will obviously hit those fairies. Earthquake hits rock, and both of those are stab plus poison jab for any fairies that are neutral to steel, such as Clefairy, not a Clefairy, Klefki, or, well, Magearna's not legal, but Magearna. Then we have a Life Orb, Sheer Force, Nidoking, max special attack, max speed, pretty standard Nidoking here. The only interesting thing is it's running Toxic Spikes over Ice Beam or something, which makes a lot of sense because its two stabs are really well situated here. So running Toxic Spikes feels kind of free. And then we have Gliscor, very defensively potent here. Got the knockoff, very high defense, poison jab, can hit fairies, earthquake, obviously hit rock, and the protect for that recovery with poison heal. Ball Stomper, a Powdon, slack off, stealth rock, earthquake, heavy slam. Basically a standard. I like to run Roar on my Hippowdons when I can, but I see Heavy Slam has a lot of value here against Fairy. It's specially defensive, notably, and it will get that, no, Rock gets the boost in Sand for special defense. Never mind. I like this really bulky core here, because his fighting team was very offensively skewed, and then he has an offense start, so he looks very offense, but then we see Gliscor, Hippowdon, and Quagsire forming a really tight defensive core, with Unaware Quagsire leftovers, Toxic, Recover. Interesting, we see Liquidation instead of Scald. Quagsire has a slightly, I want to say about 20 or 30 more points in physical attack, so it should deal significantly more damage. He's also got a Toxic Protect thing going. Then we have Flip Turn, Earthquake, Avalanche, and Yawn. So I don't love Yawn here because he's already got Toxic on Ball Fondler. But more importantly, the T-Spikes on Nidoking kind of shut off Yawn. Although, if you're using T-Spikes, you probably feel fine anyway. And that Flip Turn's going to deal good damage. I noticed this is sort of a bulky set, so he's hoping to survive a hit and then hit back with, like, Avalanche. Seems strong. I like it. The Mons, I don't know any of their sets because I like to be blind going into the fights. So we've got an Azu, which is, there's about 3 sets you ever see. Choice Band hits really hard, really fast. Belly Drum hits insanely hard, slightly less fast. And the bulky, like, Parish Song set. Looking at this team, he seems to have enough defensive capability and not a whole lot of sweeping, so I'm guessing this is a belly drum Azu, but we'll see. Diancie, this is probably his Mega. Mega Diancie is powerful, has good support, probably is Rocker from what I'm seeing. Clefable is Clefable, it's either Calm Mind or just doing its thing and sitting out there. Whimsicott, Prankster Shenanigans, Leech Seeds, Tailwinds. Grimmsnarl can set up screens, or maybe it's just a physical attacker. And Togekiss could be Scarf, or could just be an all-out attacking special attacker with, like, Air Slash. Cradilly is usually a specially defensive bulky mon that can pivot, take hits, and set up Stealth Rocks and recover. But it could also be, like, a Curse set, trying to boost up. But I'm guessing it's probably a bulkier set looking at Terrakion, Aerodactyl, Tyranitar, and Lycanroc. Shuckle's more of like a lead bulky with Sticky Web, Stealth Rock, and it takes a lot of beating during the game, but usually in one go. So Cradilly, I'm guessing, is more of a defensive pivot here. Tyranitar is probably sort of a bulky physical attacker that helps to set up Sand, which will increase the special defense of some of his mons. Notably, Cradilly is almost unkillable on the special side when in Sand. Terrakion is either Sword Stance or Choice Band, some sort of big physical attacking set, most likely. Aerodactyl could be a suicide lead, could be a fast physical attacker, Lycanroc, basically the same thing, Focus Sash, or just quick physical damage. But we'll have to wait and find out. I'm trying to make this intro a little bit shorter than last time. Going into the first match, we see Ground versus Fairy. Ground was a pretty safe lead here. It's pretty good all around. And Fairy was probably Chicken's best bet. You want to catch your good matchup early. Although, if Garret had gone fighting here, it would have been an easy one for Chicken, but then he would have been Rock against Ground. And I guess it's about the same scenario. It's mostly game theory. Since I don't know these teams, I don't really know the lead. I could see a lead Gliscor being pretty good here, lead Hippowdon, even just a lead Pert because it can flip out. We'll find out. So we see lead Whimsicott into lead Hippowdon. Not too surprised, setting up Sand's good. Knockoff takes out Hippowdon's leftovers. That's going to really impact its bulk, but Whimsicott gets slammed by a heavy slam, and after Sand, okay, so it's a leftovers Whimsicott with knockoff and U-turn. U-turn goes into Grimmsnarl. It's not going to take kindly to a heavy slam, though. Yeah, 48%. That's a lot. And then Sand knocks it into heavy slam range. Okay, so it is just going to be a standard screens Grimmsnarl. I'm guessing. I'll almost certainly Light Clay. Probably Thunderwave is on there. Togekiss comes in on the Stealth Rock. That was pretty free entry for Togekiss. It's a Dazzling Gleam for 43 on the crit. And only dealing 34 back with the Heavy Slam, but is Togekiss killing a Hippowdon worth it? Gleam does 31, and it's not, yeah, Togekiss can't get the kill here. It needs, like, back-to-back crits. This is just free recover fodder for the Hippowdon. And I really dislike Chicken's position. He's taken a lot of damage on Whimsicott and Snarl for very little. I mean, for almost nothing, honestly. Garrett's position is fantastic here. I mean, Togekiss is getting in some damage, but it just gets recovered off, and now they're a flex gone. So Heavy Slam kills. He needs a flinch. Wow, he just can't get a flinch. There's 60% chance, unless this is some super luck Togekiss. Okay, finally gets the flinch, and forces Hippowdon out, brings in the Swampert, who eats a Dazzling Gleam. Clefable comes in, and we see an Avalanche dealing only 18%. And then after leftovers, effectively nothing. Flip turn does 27! Jesus! And Hippowdon just comes right back in. Barely hangs on from a Moonblast. It looks like Clefable outspeeds. So Garrett sacks Dawn. The Moonblast leftovers. I'm thinking it's a... I want to say it's a Calm Mind. Okay, so it's a Protect Clef, so it's probably not Calm Mind. Ooh, but the Swords Dance on the Protect. Sand Rush is up. This could just be over. I don't know what can take a Swords Dance boosted Iron Head in Sand from an Excadrill. He's just sacking. And gets up the Reflect. That's big. Goes a long way to nullifying that Swords Dance. It's actually a little bit worse. It halves the total. No, it's about the same. It just nullifies the Swords Dance. But Diance's quad weak. But outspeeds because the sand goes down, but can't kill with the Mystical Fire. Diance's really more of a physical attacker. Stat-wise. And it looks like Azu's gonna clean up the Excadrill with a free Aqua Jet. But damn, I guess he really only lost Mega Diancie there because these two are basically dead already. If he just subbed on the belly drum, oh, oof, that's bad for Chicken unless Azu survives a sludge wave here. Now that's probably game. Azu going down there. Togekiss takes 25 on entry. Yeah, this game's over. Nidoking is gonna clean up. I don't think Clefable can take on a Nidoking. And that's game one in the bag. So we saw some things. We saw Diancie's a special attacker of some variety. We saw knockoff and U-turn on Whimsicott. Aquajet. We saw it's a belly drum Azu, as I thought. All-out attacking Togekiss with Roost. A protect Clefable and a screens Grimmsnarl. Nothing too mind-boggling there. Let's look at game two where we've got Rock versus Fighting. Pretty good matchup for Garret here. Obviously, it is in fact a level 20 Hitmontop. Holy shit. Okay. That might be a little too clever for his own good, but we'll find out. Fake Out does a whole 1% to Shuckle, who heals it back with leftovers. Interesting. You usually see like Mental Herb on Shuckle to avoid like taunts and encores. Notably, the lead Hitmontop kind of negated by Shuckle's really abysmal HP stat. And Shuckle takes Meat Grinders. Didn't expect to say Shuckle takes Meat Grinders Zen Headbutt. And the Drain Punch will take down Shuckle. Aerodactyl comes in, scares out the whatchamacallit, Gallade. Oh, and the dual Wing Beat misses. So we're going to see the Fake Out almost certainly deals a whole 1% to Cradilly, who immediately heals it back. Leech Seed, interesting. It's not actually going to heal Cradilly very much because Hitmontop's only level 20. This Hitmontop is actually doing incredible amounts of work. And it just gained Garret a lot of momentum here. The Aquajet scares out the Lycanroc. And he goes for Iron Head and takes out the Cradilly. There is no defensive backbone for Chicken's team anymore. But Playrough eats up that Urshifu. Toxicroak scares out the Lycanroc, and a Fake Out gets absorbed by the Terrakion. Proceeds to Earthquake Deep Croak down to Sash, but take a Drain Punch for a lot of health. But that Sticky Web's gonna let Terrakion outspeed and get the kill here with Earthquake. Earthquake does 39 as come on, uses Water Pulse and takes out Terrakion. Didn't expect to say that today. Playrough eats up Lycanroc. Life Orb Tough Claws. It's just, and it takes another kill. Holy shit. Lycanroc. Wow. Just damn. Lycanroc pounding through this team. I mean, it goes down, but it leaves a Mega Aerodactyl to clean up. Hit an Earthquake and 2-0 win for Chicken here. In a really interesting showing of Lycanroc and a lack of need for defensive backbone. As well as showing level 20 Hitmontop doing some interesting things. Game 3 here. Chicken is bringing back Rock for the Rock versus Ground matchup. Not great on paper, but Aerodactyl and Cradilly should shore it up a little, and Shuckle, I guess, should shore it up a little bit. But it still doesn't look fantastic for Chicken here. Garrett's leading off with the Gliscor into the Tyranitar. Sand does benefit both players here. But Earthquake only does 43 to this really bulky Tyranitar. And proceeds to heal up with leftovers. We see the switch out to Aerodactyl trying to predict an Earthquake. And instead the knockoff, but it does get absorbed by the Mega Stone here. Aerodactyl Mega evolves and hits a Stone Edge that only does 29 because Gliscor is really bulky. But can't really hit Aerodactyl back for any amount of damage? Dual Wing Beat hits for a solid 34% over both hits. But a Poison Jab Poison could still really tear down Chicken's strategy here. And I don't know if you want to be... Yeah, the Protect, I think, makes this a losing game. Although the Hone Claws coming in right on the Protect. Fantastic play here by Chicken. Picks up another Hone Claws on the Poison Jab, dealing 11%. Still not getting that poison. Are we going to see... No, we do not see another Protect here from Garret. He just decides to go for another Poison Jab, deals another 11%. Still no poison. That's a scary Aerodactyl. It is fast. And +2 is nothing to be reckoned with. Also, notably, Hone Claws does make Stone Edge and Dual Wing Beat, I think, 100% accurate or more. Although Quagsire comes in with the Unaware and forces the Aerodactyl out. Still a really great trade. And the Storm Drain! I like Chicken's momentum here. Forces in the Hippowdon. The Leech Seed misses. Unfortunate turn of events here. Heavy Slam still only dealing 35 to Credilli. And Leech Seed plus leftovers is going to gain back Credilli, most of that, like 20% or 15%, I believe, closer to. And the Giga Drain at +1, but this is a pretty scary Excadrill, and if he can pick up a Swords Dance, that would be really threatening. Credilli decides to stay and hits a Leech Seed here. Interesting choice. If he's got Protect on this Credilli, he'll be a lot better off. Excadrill decides just to go for the Iron Head. Would have been really powerful if he had hit the Swords Dance there. And now he's out of sand, so he can be outsped. But Chicken reactivates the sand and sacks Tyranitar, giving Excadrill the speed boost he had just been able to get away from him. Really bizarre play. I would have just sacked the Shuckle and brought in Aerodactyl, who could have finished off Excadrill. And now he's going to lose. God, he just sacks Credilli too. The switch to Tyranitar could cost Chicken this game. Yeah, I think it's gonna. Wow, all he had to do was stay in and sack the Shuckle, and he could have brought in anything that would have been faster. And okay, so he does get the Sucker Punch. Could have done that a while ago too. Oh, I have to think that's just an error here from Chicken, and I think it's gonna be the deciding error of this game. Play Rough only dealing 39 to this very bulky Swampert, who hits a Yawn. Probably just would have gone for Earthquake, but I guess he was worried about the Aerodactyl switch. Flip Turn slaughters the Lycanroc, and Quagsire should be able to just sit on Aerodactyl all day long. Chicken could have won this game, could have maneuvered into a much better position here. At least. I mean, bringing in the Tyranitar, giving the speed back, or even just bringing in Lycanroc after Tyranitar went down instead of Shuckle to hit the sucker punch. It's a damn shame because Chicken had a real chance to win this game. And Garrett takes it 2-1 off the back of that tragic misplay. Well, it happens to the best of us, right? I'm sure it was just Chicken. It's later at night. It's a hard day. We all screw up a little bit, right? I actually really liked this team. I thought it was interesting. I thought both players brought very interesting teams here. Hopefully, Chicken can come back in the losers bracket. They should be facing off against. Let's see. They're going to face off against the loser of Pratyush versus Gandhi. And Garrett will be facing off against the winner of Pratyush versus Gandhi. And remember, Weibo also dropped to the lower bracket. And yeah, that's all I got for you guys. See you next video.